The Ramble Football Club is proudly sponsored by Glasby Pallets, offering a one-stop solution for all of your pallet needs. Get in touch now on 01709 585 646 to discuss your pallet requirements. And thank you again to Sonny and the team for their continued support of Ramble FC. What is happening, people, and welcome back to the Blades. It's not, is it? It's not. Well, I've messed that up straight away. Welcome back to the Ramble Football Club, Ramble FC. I'm, of course, Jimmy, and this is Football Therapy, not the Blades Ramble. It's Ramble FC. So thank you to everybody for joining us. Thank you to Glasby's Pallets, as always, for sponsoring the channel. And tonight we are discussing Claudia Winckelmann's favourite subject, the Traitors. We are discussing football traitors tonight. So we're each going to bring a football traitor to the table, and we're going to discuss in what order they should go. So we will bring one each, but that is not necessarily how the person we think fits the mold, if that makes sense. Because I think there may well be a common denominator here. I think we all may agree on something. And Man Mountain may have jumped in and said it first. So the rest of us have had to scramble for other examples. So without any further ado, let's welcome him in. What a man, what a view. Heart so pure, it's astounding. It's Paul the Man Mountain.
This is the view from the mountain, with a heart so pure, it's astounding. Man Mountain, strong and true. What a man, what a view.
Good evening, my mate. How are you?
Very well, mate. I'm not sure how pure my heart is after my sweet and sour chicken balls.
I was just going to ask you, what have you had? You've had a Chinese, which is why you were very late to the stream. Well, you weren't actually. You were on time, to be fair.
I still thought I'd beat you in, Jim, I'll be honest.
Yeah, well, unlucky. You didn't, not quite. Listen, you make out like I'm Lewis. I'm not that bad. Come on.
No, he's different gear in. Fancy doing stuff for the club and then appearing late.
What's he been on? He's been on 3 weeks now. He's been on 3 weeks now, and he kicks us back for some Sheffield United representation or something. For skills.
Him and Gaz Sinclair for him being late. I was like, mate, don't do that to my pal Gaz.
Clang. What did you have for your Chinese?
Oh, mate, it's smorgasbord. We go for the set meal. And we all have Oh, yeah.
My dad's like that. You order that, and you order that, and I'll order that, and then we'll all share. I don't like it. I don't like it. I like what I like, and I want my own.
Chill out, Smithy.
Yeah, honestly. He loves it. When you go to a thing and they've got spinning thing. They've got a spinning thing at one at Chinese where we are.
What, a roundabout?
Yeah, roundabout. Yeah. No, they've got a spinning table, and he basically sticks a plate on there and spins it round, gets loads of people to put loads of stuff on. Anyway, that's by the by. So,
explain it, mate. I'll experience that one day.
It's a hell of an experience, mate. Anyway, we are going back into football traitors, and without any further ado, let's get this thing back on track. Let's get somebody sensible on. Well, I said that. You've all seen him drunk on Ramble before. It's the man on the mic, Jord Motson.
Jord Motson, the man on the mic, painting the match with a sound so right. Sheffield's pride, every fan can see. He's the voice of the Blades, their melody.
I was singing along there because I know Mark Meldrew was. So how's it going, Geordie boy?
Yeah, I'm good. And I don't know what you're on about because I don't drink. I'm teetotal.
Oh, no, of course you don't, mate. Of course you don't. No, absolutely right. Are you out on Saturday, mate?
No, I don't drink.
Of course I'm out on Saturday. See everybody then. You're just going to see everybody
on Saturday.
Yeah.
George, just remind him that we never claimed to be teetotal. He has a few times.
No, that's true. Yeah,
I am teetotal. Well, I'm not teetotal. I'm tea mostly.
I don't drink. Someone offers you, I don't drink.
You're not even T-Mobile, let alone teetotal.
Yeah, my playing days are behind me. I'm slower than Mark McGuinness, but other than that. Anyway, Geordie boy, speaking of food, we're on the subject of food tonight. I don't know why, because Paul's just had his Chinese. But how was Come Dine with Meldrew?
Oh, unbelievable. That bloke cooks one of the best Sunday dinners I've ever had.
I tell you what,
And I'm not just saying it either. It tasted divine.
there's some right bromances broken off in this platinum chart, aren't they, Paul? But that is right up
Going
there.
for a romantic meal. What's the
Motson and
crap?
Melger with the candle between them.
Come down and
They
melt,
said
honestly.
it was like a couples thing, but I didn't see any pictures of couples. I just saw Jord Motson smiling away.
What did he say? I thought you were excellent the other night on the stream.
Yeah, one of them, weren't it?
I'm not letting you into our private conversations.
Oh, I don't think I want to be in them.
Nescafe adverts, wasn't it? That's what it was.
I don't think I want to be in them, pal. Anyway, that's all very good, but it's not quite brilliant. We need to get somebody in that's bald and brilliant. My segues are just the best out there. Come out of nowhere, off the top of my head, believe it or not.
Mate,
Bold and brilliant, that's our lead. Knows the pitch like the back of his knee. No need for hair, he's got strategy. Football genius, yeah. That's Bally.
How's it going, pal?
Good evening. Yeah, really well, thank you.
Can you hear us, mate?
Hear us now.
Hear us, mate.
Hear us all right.
Sorry, you.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Selective hearing
Hey,
going on in the Edridge household.
I've been on twice before Paul got on. Let's not start.
Yeah, but why was we late, Lee? Why was we late?
Well, I went late. I were really behind, weren't I? I'm last on anyway.
Mate, you probably just pushed the wrong button. It happens when you get older. You just start pressing the shit into your hand and that.
I know.
This technology like it'll never catch on. I've said before.
Is your theme song quieter than everybody else's? I think it is. I don't know if you know.
Well, I can't hear mine.
You
When
can't
it-
hear
when
it
you
anyway,
play.
can you? I'll bet.
Sorry, you.
Yeah, exactly right. Exactly.
Mate, we're gonna have to get a sign language man on in the corner here. I reckon.
We'll do that for repeat. You know, it goes out at 2 in the morning, where somebody will be kind of doing that.
We've got one in background. He's due on a bit later.
Yeah, true. Right. So, welcome back, boys. All four of us together again for a bit of football therapy. Sit yourselves down, people. Lay yourself down on our couch. We're going to talk you through some football traitors this evening. I think this is what we're going to go for. It was suggested. Were it suggested in last week's show, something like that? Yeah. Myself, Lee, and Jord got together last week, and enjoyed it. What it last week that we did that?
It weren't me.
It were me and Lee. We went to last week.
Lee. Yeah.
The week before, I did the pick between your choices of best player in the champ, weren't it? Right, okay. What did we do last week, Lee?
We did.
More money, more problems.
More money. It was more money, yeah.
Yes, problem signings. I liked that. I did enjoy that, to be fair. And I don't remember it because you did all the work. So thank you again for that. I really appreciate it.
Not like you not do your own work, is it, Jim?
Mate, I've just do you know, I've just typed in, tell me about player to team. I've Googled it, and I'm going to read out for my bit exactly what Google says. So, yes, what can I say? I'm a busy man. I'm trying my best. So who wants to go first to bring their player to the table?
I think you should, Jim.
If I go first, we're about as well end the stream because
Paul's going last. Because I think Paul's got the winner. Because we have to have this one, and I'm having it. So that was.
Remember, he did that when we were picking about rivalries, weren't he? When I picked a good one, and he went, I'll have that one.
Speak to Dave the Nose; he'll tell you he's got four.
Mate,
selfish.
What can I say? I'm the quickest.
Jord, why don't you go first, pal? Why don't you take us through yours?
Well, is that because people are going to say that mine's worst, or you three think that mine is the
No,
worst?
no one's heard of yours,
Probably the
Jord.
weakest of the four, if I'm honest. But again, this is it's not yours though, is it? It's four names that we're bringing to the table, and we'll all decide that Paul.
No, it's definitely Jord's. He's got the loser. Go on, Jord, you go first, and then I'll go last.
People remember more recently. You know what I mean? So
it's because he's going to pull that card now, and fair play to him. George Young, we're not. That's the difference here. So some of the things that we remember, Jord were like, well, I could say that, lads, but I'll be honest, I wasn't really around for that.
I won't do it justice. So
There you go.
I'm going to do one that I can at least.
Excuses already. Come on.
I'm not like Jim. I'll not search on internet and just then read it out. At least I'll get some facts that I know about. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I know. Yeah, it's like choosing AI to pick your score.
Yeah, it's like using AI to pick your
And how well did that go, Lee?
Not very well, 1 point. Hey,
Come
that's not
on,
as many
Jord.
as Jim got. That's all I will say.
What?
I've gone for one, to be honest, that people might have forgot about, but it were a bit more recent than what I think than what you three are going to choose. So I've gone for Michael Owen. And the reason I've gone for Michael Owen
From
Liverpool, it weren't straight away, but
We're
it was
indirectly,
in his
weren't it?
career from Liverpool to Manchester United. So obviously we all know the rivalry that these two have got. I think on our football rivalries, we had them in our top 10, and we probably had them above Liverpool and Everton, as I think Liverpool and Man U is a bigger rivalry than Liverpool and Everton. So he started off his career, obviously, at Liverpool. He was a Liverpool youth player from 91 to 96 and made his first team appearance in 96, becoming the youngest.
Did you know that, Jord, or did you Google it?
Oh, absolutely. I know all
there
these
you
things.
go. There
You know,
you
because I was 2 years old and remember it from then. Very
go.
well.
Well, people in glass houses, my friend.
But he come through their youth team, like I said, and he was their youngest.
You could have had Max Lowe.
I thought about Max Lowe for this one.
We could have had plenty. And he went to, so he scored on his debut, I think it were the youngest goal scorer at 17 years old. He played there for 8 years and then made an £8 million move to Real Madrid, which he has spent a season there. At Liverpool, in fact, he played 216 games and scored 118 goals, cementing himself as a legend at the club. And Liverpool fans absolutely adored him and loved him. Went to Real Madrid, didn't quite hit it off, played 36 games and scored 13 goals. Then he made a £16 million move to Newcastle, which I do actually remember that one.
Yep.
71 games for them, 26 goals over 4 years. And then this is where it becomes a bit sketchy because Sir Alex Ferguson made the phone call to him and he joined them on a free transfer from Newcastle as they got relegated to the Championship. Now, being a Liverpool fan himself and coming through their youth academy, he knows exactly what their values are and their beliefs. You don't join Manchester United. He's been a club legend and decided to leave Newcastle to then join Manchester United, Liverpool's biggest rivals. And he played 31 games in 3 years and scored 5 goals for him, but that's by the by. He had his injuries, I think, towards the end of his career, and he probably were looking at that move as a big payday, to finish his career off after that. And the thing, you're going to find odd is he's had a big payday. He could have gone somewhere else and probably had a big payday, but he chose Manchester United to work for Sir Alex Ferguson, which you kind of get, but you just don't do it. That's like, obviously, we all support Sheffield United. It's like us been a legend, or Billy Sharp, been a legend. He's gone away, come back, and then decided to join Sheffield Wednesday on a free. We'd all be fuming, and I think it'd go from a legendary status to what you're doing, Billy. And that's exactly the same what Liverpool fans think. They called him the golden boy. He was their golden boy that come through in that era that scored loads of goals as a young lad and played for England, and then joined Man U. And I have searched it. A lot of Liverpool fans say that tarnished his legendary status as a Liverpool player.
I think it's a worthy suggestion. I think for me, it has similarities to Peter Schmeichel going to Man City, whereas it wasn't a very fruitful spell for the player. It was late on in his career, probably seen as he wasn't going to go there to be the main man, wasn't Michael Owen at that stage. But it does sort of leave a bit of a... I don't think Man U fans despise Peter Schmeichel. He's one of the best ever goalkeepers, but I do think it leaves a bit of a taste.
Yeah.
Like, why did you go that? But Billy Sharp went to Leeds, and they're close rivals of Sheffield United. That was before he came back for a much more fruitful spell for us, which is now because he's done that on the other side of it, he's much more remembered for it. He's a Sheffield United legend. He's an icon, isn't he? So I think it definitely deserves a place in the conversation for biggest traitor, and he knows that it is up there with England's biggest rivalry, isn't it? Liverpool,
I just think it's when you're classed as the golden boy and you come through, and you know exactly what that club stands for and who their main rivals are. To then, is it throwing it back in Liverpool's face to then join Man U, especially on a free transfer for a big payday towards the end of your career?
Yeah, possibly.
I think the end of career thing's quite interesting, quite the factor here. Because I think because he'd been around the houses a few times before he got back there, and it obviously was the arse end of his career, wasn't it? There's no doubt about that.
No.
It wasn't like he was in his prime or anything like that. He'd suffered with injuries. He was on the, frankly, he was just desperate for a way out of Newcastle. And if you ask a lot of fans, they've got a lot of, including Shearer, I think they've got a lot of animosity for him because he went there on major wages. And
it was a big money move, weren't it? 16 million for them were a lot of money, I think.
Well, yeah, of course, yeah. But also he was part of a relegation season, so quite a miserable time for a club like Newcastle. Yeah. And there was accusations that he wasn't as injured as he was making out, and it had all gone a bit sour behind the scenes. So I think, in his defence, in one way, you almost say going to Man United is a good move for anybody. It's a good move for anybody, particularly when you're leaving a team that's been relegated and you're trying to keep your career going. But it's a fair one for me. I think it's a decent shout. I think the distance between him arriving at Manchester and leaving Liverpool probably similar to Schmeichel. Good example, Jim. It probably I don't think Pete would be he'd still be named as the best Man United goalie ever, and I don't think there's that much animosity there because he was on the tail end of his career. He wasn't the same player for a start, and it wasn't a direct route there, was it? I think sometimes, lads, we've got to be a bit realistic and think, where if you're in Michael Owen's situation, having had a really unsuccessful time with a side that's been relegated, Man United come knocking. They were still a massive club at the time.
There were, but there's the argument. There's so many other clubs he could have gone to in there.
You don't know who's putting the money down, Jim.
I agree with you, mate. I'm playing devils to a degree, but to Jord's point, it doesn't have to be Man United that he goes to, does it?
Well, yeah, but we don't know we don't know who was in for him. He might have been Man United and Norwich, and someone. We don't know. Do we?
Yeah. On that, I don't remember anybody else. I can't remember anybody else being linked to him when he was leaving Newcastle.
And I do think there was that much of an aura around Sir Alex Ferguson as well that I think that will have swayed a lot of players, despite what their loyalties and things like that. I think he will have I think he's an extra edge to get people over the line, if I'm honest, with certain situations. I was surprised. I think Shearer's the only one that's successfully sort of knocked, or famously, should I say. There'll be loads more that we don't know about, I suppose, but the most famous one is Shearer that knocked back Sir Alex Ferguson to join his boyhood club, and I suppose he's the ultimate example of loyalty. Gascoigne, great shout. Yeah,
Gascoigne. But didn't they both just think what they'd have won if they'd have gone?
Yeah, absolutely.
Did Shearer actually win?
They know that they sacrificed
league title.
But he'd won that already.
Oh, yeah, sorry, yeah, he did.
But you could have done it. He could have got 5 or 6 more with Man U, couldn't he?
Yeah.
Shearer,
100%. But
he's chosen his heart over his head, I think.
But also fair play to him. He probably took double pleasure scoring goals for Newcastle in his own city, being walking around like a king, and he still does. Than playing for another side and being successful with another team. Newcastle was his team. He took his chance to go back there. It's fair play. He'd been all the way down to Southampton to start his career, and up to Blackburn, who obviously not necessarily a fancied side when he joins them, and he takes them to a title. And then your hometown club comes and goes, have all this, Mr. Shearer, come and play for us and be a hero, and he will be forever. So it's one of them, isn't it? He wouldn't have the same status in Newcastle if he hadn't gone back there.
True. Nice one, Jordy boy. I'm happy to go next, and I'm going to be talking about. I'm not going to read any comments until we've all finished out. We won't do the official sort of ranking, but we'll get people's feedback because I've got a feeling they'll be naming some people in the comments most likely that we're going to be talking about. So I don't want to sway us either way. But I'm going to be talking about a player who bagged an absolute beaut during this time frame. It was, but went to.
What's her name?
Cheryl. Cheryl Tweedy. Oh, mate.
Bagged a beaut.
Absolutely banging at that stage. Unbelievable. Anyway, back to the football. Ashley Cole was playing for Arsenal at the time. I believe he came through their youth ranks. Correct me if I'm wrong, but again, that's just from memory rather than checking up on out. And then it all started to go a little bit south, and he started to be known as Cashley. As Ashley Cole's moved to Chelsea in 2000, this is just off the top of my head now. Ashley Cole's moved to Chelsea in 2006 from Arsenal was a controversial blockbuster transfer involving a cash plus player deal because William Gallas was part X'd in that deal as well because he was wanting to leave Chelsea at the time. It were after a contract dispute, making. He then went on to win loads of trophies at Chelsea, as we know. But in the build-up, this were back in 2006, as I said, Chelsea had been chasing him for months, and it led to a secret meeting. And I remember this after I've read it. I remembered that he'd met with Mourinho and Peter Kenyon, who were at Chelsea at the time, behind closed doors in 2005, which resulted in fines for Chelsea for tapping him up. He then felt disrespected, he said, by Arsenal's initial contract offer, which he believed undervalued him compared to other players, which led to a breakdown in his relationship with the club. It finally happened on deadline day, with Chelsea paying £5 million and William Gallas. I think Lee sent me something earlier saying they originally wanted 25 million, were it, Lee, that you said?
That's correct, yeah.
Yeah, and obviously William Gallas valued in and around 20 million then at that time, if that's the make weight. William Gallas, a good player in his own right, but Ashley Cole recognised as certainly England's best left back, if not the best left back in the Premier League at that time. This is around the time he'd just pocketed Ronaldo in the Euros and all this sort of stuff and really sort of made his mark. The move deeply angered Arsenal fans as Cole was highly rated academy graduate, but he maintains he was forced out by the club's broken promises. He also revealed at one point that he turned down moves to Barcelona and Real Madrid around the same time, partly due to his marriage to that absolute knockout Cheryl Tweedy. So, what we're saying about Ashley Cole, boys? That were all off the top of my head, by the way. Are you impressed?
I look at how you kept that picture on screen, you know, because that you were
I didn't
reading.
even realise because I were on another screen reading it.
Yeah. It's all, you know, professional as ever.
To the end, mate. To the end.
At least your point of view, Jim.
You are?
This is your point of view.
It is my point. No, well, we're just bringing players to the table. I think somebody else might have had my choice, if I'm honest. But we won't talk about that, Paul. Anyway, Ashley Cole, what are we thinking? What are we saying?
I watched him on the Overlap a couple of weeks ago, and they were talking about this. And they told him he was going to be club captain at Arsenal, and they'd offered him a deal, end of season, we're going to give this and all that, and then they reneged on it and never went anywhere near it. And apparently, he only left for £5,000 a week more than what they were offering, but he did it as a matter of principle at the end because of what they were doing. But I've got an issue with it because Arsenal got something out of it. Because I don't think you can be that bothered about a player leaving if you allow him to go for £5 million and this, that, and other. You know, they've actually got something out of it. So if the club's happy for him to go, which they obviously were in the end, because they got Gallas and £5 million, is it really that big a shock? Is it really that big a traitor when the club lets you go for money?
Yes, it is. Yeah, it is.
I don't know, Jim.
Just because the club are getting a bit of cash out of it. They were desperate to keep him, weren't they? And that's what they were saying. They clearly weren't as desperate if what he's saying is right. And that is obviously his side of the story rather than the club's.
Yeah.
But you don't go to it. I mean, they're not the nearest rivals, are they? But they're a very, very close rival. Chelsea were a much more dominant side at the time in terms of what they could offer, in terms of wages. You're now saying, from Ashley's point of view, he only took a minimal wage rise, but he went on to win loads of trophies for him. Really successful move for him individually. And I think that's probably what sticks in Arsenal's fans' throats a little bit more, is that he went and performed so well for Chelsea and won a lot there when they were going through a bit of a sticky and barren period for themselves. So
there's probably always going to be more to it than what we know about, to be honest.
Yeah.
To be frank. And
there won't just be Ashley's side to it either, will there? So
I know, Jim, you'd never leave the Ramble for an extra $250,000 a year, would you?
Not a chance, mate. Not a chance. Turned it down 3 times this year already. So
that's it then.
Not a chance. Yeah. I'll have to pay up a bit more than that.
Is that to join Prince Abdullah's consortium? Is he?
No, he's turned me down 3 times. I won't be buying Sheffield United at the minute, mate. I'll tell you that. Right, so that is Ashley Cole. What are we thinking? All right, decent shout, worth being on the list. Would you say?
Yeah, it's top 5, isn't it?
Yep.
Well, I'm hoping
25, yeah.
But, wow. Well, let's see how well yours goes down then.
I've set myself up now, haven't I?
Yes, you have. Yes, you have. Lee Van Dow.
So I've gone for Robert Lewandowski from Borussia Dortmund to Bayern Munich. So they brought him over from Lech Poznan in 2010.
I just want to highlight Paul's face with this one straight away.
Right. Before we start,
no, I want Lee to carry on. I don't want to interrupt him, but I just wanted your face to be on camera while you were like, what? Anyway, carry on, Lee.
Cheers. You know what I mean? Getting it in there early.
Well, top 50, but carry
on.
Go
on, you finish, Lee, and then I'll tell you why you're wrong. Come on, then.
So 2010, he came from Lech Poznan, where he scored 32 in 58. He moves to Borussia Dortmund. He has 4 seasons there, plays 131 games, 74 goals, and then he gets to the final of the Champions League in 2013. They lose 2-0 to Bayern Munich. Here we go. They lose 2-0 to Bayern Munich.
I was not on my own, innit?
Then at the end of that year, 2013, coming into 2014 in November, he announces that he's going to leave Borussia Dortmund on a free and move to Bayern Munich, who've just beaten in the Champions League final. He moves there. He chose them over AC Milan, Juve, Man United, and Chelsea. So he did have other options as well. It were a massive loss to Dortmund. They'd just lost Mario Götze as well to him the summer before, so it was pushing him on. When in the time he was at Bayern, Dortmund only won 2 German Cups and a German Super Cup.
Terrible for them fans.
Barren.
What Bayern won 8 Bundesligas, 3 German Cups, 5 German Super Cups, a Champions League, a UEFA Super Cup, and a Club World Cup.
And a partridge in a pear tree.
Yeah, exactly. So him leaving alongside Götze earlier has absolutely stopped him in the tracks, and they've not really recovered since, to be honest. So I think it's massive, and he's not very well thought of there whatsoever.
Jord, any thoughts on this before I let Paul loose?
I don't particularly mind it. I like it that he's gone further afield than just us picking English players or from the English league. So, yeah, I'll get a fair shout.
Mr. Mountain?
I could have gone Alan Smith.
My major problem with this is like Dortmund sell like a third of their players to Bayern Munich. It happens all the time. Bayern Munich have for years cherry-picked the best talent from the Bundesliga. Time after time after time. It always happens. And my issue with this, and it's the same as the argument I was having with my Uncle Tony on the phone about Trent, and I'm surprised no one had a little think about that one. But about Trent, for me, Sheffield United in recent times have bemoaned the sales of Sanderberger and Illerman and Dye. The club had no choice. Okay, and the reason they didn't have a choice is because with a year to go on the deal, they've got to ultimatum the player, and at that point, if the player doesn't sign, the club have then got to give him that ultimatum to sign, or you're going to go and rot in our reserves, etc.
Yeah,
and before you know it,
untenable, isn't it? Yeah,
before you know it, the hawking the name around Europe, and they've got loads of offers for loads of money. All right, you've backed up the Lewandowski's decision by saying he won all these trophies going to Bayern Munich over Borussia Dortmund. Borussia Dortmund have always been the second side in Germany, always. And they sell lots of their players to Bayern Munich regularly. So
sell them to them. This was a free transfer.
Yeah, but Lee, that's their fault. They should with a year out, they should have gone. This is the offer, Robert. Sign it, or we're going to flog you for all this money. It's true, isn't it? It should the same way that Liverpool should have done it with Trent. Anyone who leaves for now has conned the club slightly, but
more for the club.
But the club have got to protect themselves the way Sheffield United protect themselves. Not every Sheffield United fan's favourite thing that happened with our players, but the club have to get value for the players they've got. They can't afford to let them go for nothing. If that's the reason, mate, I don't see it. I really don't see it. I think it's happened so many times with them clubs.
Well, I'm going to surprise you here. Can I just shock you, as Alan Partridge would say? I actually agree with Lee a little bit in terms. I think it's unforgivable to go to your direct rival on a free transfer, which I think you will be coming to very shortly, Paul. And it's a very similar example, just in a different domestic league. So I have to say, you're going to make a load of points here, Paul, that you've just pushed back on Lee for selecting Lewandowski. So Dortmund have been second fiddle to Bayern for as long as I can remember. But while Jurgen Klopp were at Dortmund, they were giving it a hell of a go to overtake them. And there would have been a chance at some stage that had they been able to keep hold of the best players, they would have, they won some Bundesliga titles over Bayern, didn't they? So the power balance wasn't as dominant as it has been. So I don't know. I think it's definitely a controversial move.
Dortmund are a selling club.
They won two. They won two while Dortmund won two with Lewandowski there.
Yeah,
and then got into Champions League final the year after.
So I do think it's a shocking move in terms of morals, and I do think if you're a Dortmund fan, you're thinking, of course he's a traitor. He's left on a free. A player who's known to be one of the greatest strikers in Europe for a long, long time, and he's gone for naught.
No blame for the club.
Absolutely blame for the club. The club is the major factor here in who's responsible, and they've allowed the player to make that selfish choice.
Selfish choice,
yeah, because they could have sold him. They could have sold him a season before and got 40, 50 million quid for him, even with a year left on his deal.
Is that Lewandowski's fault?
No, it's not. Running your contract down is never the player's fault. It's who he's gone to, I think, that sticks in the craw of the fans.
Correct. Yeah.
He probably went to Bayern and doubled his money.
Yeah, but he could have gone to Barcelona and doubled his money like he did later.
Chelsea.
He didn't want to leave. He lived in Germany. He didn't want to leave Germany. He's probably got a family there. There's a number of factors.
Yeah, he has. But that's all very, very much singular thinking, isn't it? And not caring about your legacy at Dortmund, which is fine if he wants to do that. That's his personal
supported Dortmund anyway.
Don't come on making out like people aren't going to call you a traitor for it, because they will.
He's an employee of the club. He probably never supported Dortmund.
How did you feel when we sold Jayden Bogle to Leeds?
I thought it was decent business considering the situation.
Do you think that he's let us down by going to Leeds?
No.
Or kicking off to go to Leeds?
No, he went to the best placed club with the best offer for him. We don't vilify Brian Dean for doing it. We don't. There's lots of Sheffield United players who've moved on to at the time bigger things, and for me it's not. I don't think this is. I think it's
easy as an outsider looking in, someone who don't support either club, to say, it's just these things happen. If it was our club and we got robbed by our rivals of our star man, then we would be fuming. If Illiman had left us for note and gone to Sheffield Wednesday, we'd have been raging.
Mate, give that a miss.
Well, I'm just, it's never going to happen, is it? They've been below us for 20 years, mate, but it's, or 10 years at least, but so that you can't really resonate with that.
It'd probably be more opposite way around. If Illiman were playing well for Wednesday, it'd definitely come to us, but it probably wouldn't happen.
Yeah, or put it other way, it's like us signing Barry Bannon when he were at their peak for them on a free, because he turned their contract offer down and signed for Sheffield United, and they've sort of revelled in him being a Sheffield Wednesday legend. It's all these sort of things. Anyway, I think we've done that one, but I do think we can't just, because we don't, it's not always in our orbit what's happening in other leagues. I don't think it's any less impactful than the one that you're going to talk about now, mate.
Well, Bayern have been a top 5 club in the world since I was a glint in my dad's eye. They're an absolute juggernaut club.
So Man United, but you wouldn't sign for him now over a Liverpool, would you?
You would if they were the best club on offer. Yeah, players aren't bothered. Steve Gerrard, the Liverpool legend, was halfway to Chelsea at one point.
Yeah, it was.
What for? For footballing reasons. One, because they're more ambitious than Liverpool. Certainly at the time they were.
I'm not blaming the player, but you cannot then protest.
So claiming he's a traitor.
You would be classed as a traitor.
He's a traitor.
You would be classed as
a traitor. I get Paul's point, because I understand this does happen quite frequent in that division, that Bayern will take the best Borussia Dortmund players. I do understand that, but I also see it from a Dortmund's fan point of view that is gone to their main rivals in that division. You are going to be fuming.
I get it, Jord. But when you talk about Bayern and you're talking about  yes, Dortmund are a great club. They're not at the level of Bayern, and they never have been.
No, but they had the chance to be, and they were pushing to be. They're not just happy to accept being second.
They didn't. Their best players have always been for sale, always. Bayern Munich hold on to their best players. Bayern Munich are a clever club who sell players when they've done the business for them and they're on the way down. Borussia Dortmund sell a lot of their players when they're reaching the peak of their powers, and they have done forever and always have. You could have had Luis Figo, who went from one juggernaut in Barca to Real Madrid, and they are nip and tuck in the same bracket, in the same conversation.
Figo got mentioned, didn't he, in our chat?
He did, but that's
64 million euros. 64 million euros. 64 million euros he went for all that time ago. It was the world record transfer fee. So Barcelona have accepted the fact they've got something out of it. The fact that Lewandowski went on a free, I think makes them treacherous and a traitor.
That's not Lewandowski's fault. That's the club's fault, in my opinion.
I'm not saying that, but to go to your nearest rivals, that's traitorous.
It's a conscious choice. And
correct. Turn down 4 other clubs, big clubs.
It's an upgrade. It's an upgrade.
It is, but he could have upgraded elsewhere, couldn't he?
Yeah, well,
if he wasn't bothered about tarnishing his
right, Jim. Okay, so if you play for Borussia Dortmund, right?
Yeah, definitely.
Right? So there is one club in the country where you are taking a step up. One club, one choice, and you live in Germany.
There's 5 across Europe.
And and that's debatable. And you go in, and you live in Germany. You're happy in Germany. It's great. It's all there. It's all good. They're the only option. They're the only ones who are left.
Why are they the only option? They're not.
Because in Germany they are the only option.
In Germany they are. Yeah. If you can only sign for a club in Germany that starts with B, that's wears a certain colour. It doesn't have to be that one choice. And listen, I'm not saying I wouldn't make the same choice. I'm not saying I wouldn't make the same choice. He's likely not had to up sticks and shift all his family around like he would have done if he'd have moved to another country. So I'm not saying I don't understand the reasons for it, but he cannot expect not to be labelled a traitor by the Dortmund faithful after making that move.
There's so many of them, mate. For me, it is what it is. We'll have to ask the Ramblers, see if they agree on that.
We will. But let's get our final nominee out of the way. Ironically, who is it you're going to talk about, Mr. Mountain?
Well, the jelly and ice cream's coming out, boys, because they are still singing about this one 24 years after it happened. It's the club captain who walked from one side of the city and could walk from one training ground to the other. Going from Tottenham to Arsenal, it's Sol Campbell, absolutely vilified by the Spurs faithful for his move to their bitter rivals. He claims it was for football reasons. There's a couple of things from his point of view, which I will give you, because I'm obviously the one that's done the background on it, is that he claims that he had made an offer to Tottenham for a contract. So he had put a contract offer for himself on the table. Said,
here is my contract, Tottenham. Sign it or not.
He says, I will sign again for 4 years with an option for a further year on these terms. And I will remain on the... He said, I offered to stay on the same money for a year and then obviously with a wage increase. And he was their biggest asset, best player, England international, the heartbeat of the team. Brilliant.
Great player, Sol Campbell.
He also said that he had been told by the Tottenham hierarchy that he was the highest paid player at the club, which apparently wasn't true. And he claims that wasn't true afterwards as well. Some people would argue he was vindicated in his decision. He became part of the Invincibles team. He was hugely successful where Tottenham never won a trophy, certainly in his playing career at the same time. So there are arguments in Sol Campbell's armory, if you want, as to why he made that decision. I think when you're going from Tottenham to Arsenal, there are other options, which I'm sure may have been on the table for him. But if you live in North London, it's one of them. But for me, obviously, as the skipper at the height of your powers, walking across to your main rivals, do I blame the club a little bit? Like 100%. I'm not changing my story just because of that. Spurs should have had him tied down the year before. and should have ultimated him a year earlier and said, sign it or we're going to have to flog you. But that's it. I think this is the biggest one easily.
Well, coming into the show tonight, I think we would all have been agreed, but I think I think this Lewandowski conversation has rocked it a little bit. I want to hear from Jord first, because Jord hadn't had a chance to even get in and have his say on any of these, really. But what do you think to Sol Campbell, pal?
Disgusting. I mean, to be club captain at Tottenham and then to walk across to your main rivals, it's a no-go. You just don't do it. I get that you're saying it's for football reasons, Paul, and Tottenham aren't winning trophies. He's gone to Arsenal to win trophies. If it is a footballing decision, he probably made the right decision for himself as a football decision. He's gone to win trophies, and he did that, and he probably helped his England career out even more by doing so. But to be club captain at Spurs, to then leave, to go to your arch rivals, and did he become club captain at Arsenal as well?
Not sure. I don't think so.
I think he had a spell, didn't he?
Did he have a spell?
He captained him, but I don't think he was club captain.
But it's a no-go, isn't it? When you talk between any set of fans, if we're talking fan to fan, you don't do it.
Lee's on the Malbec. What you got there, mate?
I've just got a glass of red. We always have one on a Thursday. When I'm on here,
a jug of red by the looks of it.
I've got small hands.
I was going to say them rugby hands make it look bigger.
Don't offend T.
You're bragging about your small hands. Anyway, Lee, do you want to say it or should I? Oh, go on, Jord. Sorry.
I think
out
of all the ones that we've mentioned, I think it were always going to be hard to go against Paul's choice. I think, it's a standout choice, and it clearly wins it for me easily.
I do agree, but Lee, do you want to say it or shall I?
I agree with everything Paul said. It's exactly the same as Robert Lewandowski. Exactly. apart from one thing that makes it even worse. Club captain. They were the best player. Everything went round them. Same as Lewandowski, but he was club captain. And that, for me, is just a little cherry on top.
I agree with that.
I can't argue with what Paul said. I think he's exactly right. But I will stand up for Lewandowski. It's the exact same thing what Lewandowski did.
Yeah, it is. It is. So, Paul, just to push, I agree with you, by the way, mate. And I love your justification, both for and against, in these arguments, as always, because they're always, it's talking points, isn't it? And it's different opinions. And some people will agree with that perspective and others won't. But can you not see the similarities? In the two cases that we've got?
I know what you're doing, and there's no way you'll get away with it, mate.
No, I'm not. I'm just asking.
He wants to win.
I know exactly what you're doing.
He wants to win
every week. Forget it.
Every week.
Every week.
What are you talking about? It's not every week.
You poll 100 people who know one thing about football, and they will tell you Sol Campbell was the worst of the lot. And I am
not disagreeing. I am not disagreeing, but what I am saying is, what is the difference between the two? When he has Sol Campbell, you can't tell me Arsenal was the only offer on the table for Sol Campbell. He'll have had offers coming out of his ears, and he's chosen to walk across the street, as you said quite rightly, when he was club captain for them, to walk across the street and sign for their arch rivals. And like you said, they still sing about it now, 24 years later. It was a huge betrayal, and I don't really see the difference between Sol doing that and Lewandowski going to Bayern. So
I'm just done a bit of off the cuff research.
Oh, what a shock!
Matt's, yeah, I know. Well, mate, at least I do a little bit off the cuff. Never mind, nothing at all.
I don't do any on the cuff, never mind.
Straight off the screen, and I'll just put this picture on so I can read it word for word off here. Right. So Matt Summels spent 14 years.
That's to be knowledgeable about stuff. I just told you.
14 years. Stefan Ruter, Ivan Perisic, the list goes on. Jurgen Koller, Thomas Helmer, Mario Götze.
Thomas Helmer.
How many on a free? How many on a free?
List.
How many on a free?
Emre Can.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, what a difference maker.
He had a big one. He had a big issue with Galatasaray and Fenerbahce because he started at Gala.
There's so many who've done it. So many. Sorry.
So many.
Because
it's been done before, it makes it less impactful.
I mean,
is that your argument?
My point is, it's a common occurrence for players to leave Dortmund for Bayern because they're a bigger fish. It happens all the time. 10 a penny. Sorry.
Okay. Let's get into some comments before we bring our guest in and shift. But I have enjoyed that. 18. I think that's been a feisty little conversation. Carl says, Maurice Johnston for non-footballing reasons, the first open Catholic to play for Rangers since World War One. Interesting. I don't even
worse than that as well. He actually gave his word to Celtic. He was going to sign back from Nantes, I think it were, for Celtic, and then went to Rangers.
Oh, naughty boy. Batman Lou.
Naughty Morris.
The other half of the Batman and Lou show. Batman Mountain. What's it called? Batman Mountain show. On this very channel. Evening, gents. Sulk. What?
You messaged him by any chance, Paul?
Oh, Sol Campbell and Ashley Cole always come to mind in this conversation. If I'm allowed one from overseas, Luis Figo going to Real Madrid from Barca caused a stink. It certainly did. Can't imagine the other lot were fond of Gary Medine coming to Bramall Lane either.
I don't think there were many Blades that were fond of Gary Medine coming to Bramall Lane.
Exactly. Did well, though.
Yeah, he did.
Mark Meldrew Hill says, evening, lads. Hope you're all well. Sol Campbell, Gallas, Tevez, and Alan Smith, just to name a few.
Yeah, Tevez, the one I mentioned, weren't it, in our chat?
There's been a few from Leeds to Man U as well when you talk about historical progression. Rio were another one that we were thinking about. Dave Morwood says,
because Leeds were broke, though, wasn't it? Leeds were broke, so they had to sell them, didn't they?
Yeah, true. Luis Enrique, Madrid to Barca, caused uproar. Peter Crouch, Portsmouth to Southampton. The one I remember, Roberto Baggio, Fiorentina to Juve, caused 2 days of riots, by the way, evening.
That's
lads.
true.
Do you think that's a great shout, that, Baggio? I don't remember it, but it's a great shout. What a huge player and 2 big clubs at the time as well. I don't remember it, but yes, Joe says, evening all. The Tevez one with the billboard has to be up there, but that one sticks to mind is Nasri to City. Arsenal fans couldn't believe it. So there's some good ones that I hadn't even thought about. Tevez never crossed my mind, And
but Tevez was only on loan at Man U. Tevez was only on loan at Man U. He never signed. It was the end of his loan. And they were all singing Fergie, sign him up, and he went to Man City instead.
I could swear he signed permanently.
I thought he had about 18
he ended up signing permanently.
Let's have a look.
While you're looking, let's get some. Welcome to Ramble FC, folks. As ever, please keep the chat nice and clean. Enjoy the chat. Thank you, Bry. Smithy
2 year loan.
My boy says.
Yeah, he's right. But that's probably because we're a 2 year
loan.
You very rarely see that, don't you? So you're thinking it's a
does ring a bell now. You said it. To be fair, Michael Owen, not a direct transfer, but a Liverpool legend signing for Man U, says Ian. So he's shouting up for Jord suggestion.
Someone who knows his stuff.
Man Mountain, the Poohousery, red wine ring a bell. Lol.
Sure does, Brian. Sure does.
In fact,
the Poohousery.
Yes, it's still here. I ain't got rid of that one.
Can't remember, Jim.
Say again.
Can't remember.
Yeah,
oh, of course. Yeah, sorry, I went.
Yeah.
That requires me to multitask, and I definitely cannot do that. That's Ali. I knew Mark Meldrew would be singing along with our songs. Lou says, I put the stream on, and the first thing I hear is you two digging me out. You try being on time when you have to keep up with Callum Aware. Covers more ground than the Atlantic. Oh, clang. Yes, well done, Lou.
Can hear those big pistols going off.
I
What's that noise? It's a cannon. Bang. Yeah, we know.
You know what?
Everyone knows about Big Lou now, don't they? Come on.
So if anybody's at the after party, he's not coming to after party, is he? I was going to say anybody that wanted a selfie could get a selfie with.
He lives about 200 miles away, so we'll let him off.
Yeah, we'll let him off.
Speaking of Mark Meldrew, by the way.
Yeah.
I think
he's just saying Dominic.
He could be classed as a traitor.
Oh, yeah, he could, yeah.
Because he tried bringing me into -2, right? United win one game and all of a sudden he's part of +6. That's traitor.
Well, he's not actually. Hasn't been officially accepted into the ranks, but he
put it on one of the streams recently.
He's much more positive, isn't it? So
I think
I'm looking for members of the moderate too, but I'm still looking. That's all.
No need for hair. He's got strategy. Meals by Meldrew, Jim. There's the show. Can discuss a contract. No problem. I'm sure you
Might be like Sol Campbell.
He's going to Sol Campbell me, isn't he?
Big contract.
Sign the contract, big boy. Sign the contract. That's Mike Tyson. I know that, by the way, for anybody that wants to get confused. No need for hair. He's got strategy, says Peak. You guys grease me up. Merry Christmas, all. Merry Christmas to you, Peak. Thank you very much, pal. Bry says, you're young Mountain and Jim compared to me. Yes, that's right. Spring chicken, me. I certainly don't feel it, Bry. Nobody cares about Max Lowe. He don't care about me. Jordy does his research, says Lou. I bet he has his own dossier. I bet he has Google up on his phone, if I'm honest, Lou. Mark Meldrew says Sharp nearly joined Wednesday under Brian Laws. He said to his dad, I can't sign for them, but felt Laws deserved a chance to speak to him from their time at Scunthorpe. Good knowledge. Mark Meldrew cannot remember that happening at the time. Bryce says the one those porcine neighbours of ours could never get over was their beloved Terry Curran played for us. It would be the same as Billy going over there, and the best thing of all was he hated it. Oh, interesting. Now, Lou, he just read my comment. All right, okay. Luke says it was the injury during the World Cup in 2006 that killed Owen. Yes, I agree with that. Yeah, heard Owen say one of the clubs in for him at that time were Everton. Glad to see you all agreed on the dress code colour. More to that in a minute, actually, when your Platinum Rambler representative comes on. He'd have done a little. He'd have won a title at Newcastle if Keegan's head didn't fall off. I'd love it. Yeah. Oh, that. Jord, you won't remember watching that season, I'm sure.
No, I've watched it on Premier League years.
Mate,
I've seen it on.
Was the most entertaining football season I can remember watching. That you didn't involve United. Obviously, I loved the 02-03 season and a few others. The 18-19 season were brilliant as well. But as a neutral watching the Premier League at that time, Collymore closing in and Keegan just draped over the billboards. It's just iconic. So good. Bryce says, who's the only player to play for Liverpool, Everton, Man City and Manchester City? Oh, good question. If this is going a little bit far back, Brian, then I've no chance. But if it's in the last 20 years...
It definitely is going way back, this. Come on, Cassidy, what we're saying.
Yeah, come on.
We ain't going to get that.
Come on, Butch. Come on, Butch, tell us what's going on.
Probably Nicholas Anelka or something, is it? He's played for about 100 teams.
Yeah, that's true. Steele for the best left back this country has ever seen, 5 mil. Yes, that's right. Surely someone has Sol Campbell. Yes, they do, Luke. Yes, they do. Figo was a big one. Barca had Barca to Real for a world record fee at the time. Absolutely right. Biggest traitor is Jamie Dumpling leaving the Platinum Ramblers. Well, he hadn't left the Platinum Ramblers, but he has no-showed on several occasions as he's now got a missus. He has to pick her up from school and everything. It's a joke that he's not on as much as he used to. Bob, sign it or do one. That's Gus gone then, Mr. Mountain, says Butch. The answer to my earlier question was Peter Beardsley. Peter Beardsley has played for
Man United. He put Man United. He played for Man U.
He was at Man U. Whether he played for him, I don't know, but he was at Man U. Yeah. He went to Vancouver Whitecaps after, I believe.
The Wildcats?
Wildcats,
I can't remember him in a Man United or City shirt. I know he played for Liverpool.
Mr. Tequila.
Yeah, cheers, Mr. Tequila. Are you trying to kill me, Mr. Tequila? That'll be Mountain on Saturday if he's boxing. Are you boxing it as well, Jord?
No comment.
You boys are going to be in a right state, and I am here for it.
He'll get you. He'll clip you up and put you on.
You know it. You know it.
I'll be coming out of there like Brett last time. 4-0. 4-0.
4-0 to Birmingham, and we're still out.
Yeah.
I'd be more fuming with the club allowing an asset to leave for free, says Luke. Absolutely right. The death threats had some impact when it came to Gerrard not leaving. That's true. I remember all that. Luke says, I think Paul and Jord have landed on a thing that divides opinion here. There's a club perspective and a fan perspective. The latter is where the emotion comes from. Yeah, that's true. That's true.
Peter Beardsley made 0 first-team appearances for Man United.
He was signed for him, but didn't play.
0.
You feel better now that you've upset Brian?
Well, it's on the wording, mate.
Do you feel better? Sorry, Brian. Sorry, I know you're a mod.
Sorry, Brian. Obviously, you're right.
But there you are. You're back in your box now, thanks to Mr. Mountain having to be right. Lewandowski's caused some controversy here. Yes, he did. He did. You heard the man, Paul. How many on a free? Pulisic, Imre Can. How many on a free? Jamie Dumpling says, my favourite part about Sol Campbell is him saying in a presser he's staying, then proceeds to leave.
This brings back bad memories, this statement. Saying he's stopping. We'll do the photos, we'll do the lot.
No.
The video.
Also, last Christmas, he did an ad for Google Pixel saying about switching sides and trying new things. Yes, that was quite funny.
I'm surprised Jamie Dumpling actually knows Sol Campbell is.
I am too. Maybe his girlfriend's dad were around when he were at Part Invincibles. Hummels left and went back. Jamie says, when Spurs fans weren't happy, I'm pretty sure he said, it's a colour thing. Unreal poo-houser it. We're not going to even... And I'm not even going to... say anything about that comment, Jamie. We're just going to breeze past it. Dave Morwood says, I agree with Paul, but the same as Lee, apart from Sol being captain. Yes, it is. I agree. Cantona to Man U changed everything. I agree with that as well. He were another one that we mentioned in group. Jamie Dumpling says, I think Max Lowe just has to be mentioned as he played for Derby, Forest, United and Wendy's. There's about 4 or 5 rivalries in there. That's very true. Between the
big
clubs.
Difference though, Jim. All the players we're talking about are decent footballers.
Yeah, that's true. That's
you know
true.
What I mean?
And how many went on a free? Max Lowe went on a free about 4 times.
We can't delve into the Cantona saga. There's rumours about that one.
Yeah, well, bit of brown envelope behaviour.
No, a bit of getting hold of someone else's wife behaviour.
Oh, yes. Oh, chappers. Yes, I had the same.
Yeah.
Lee Clark, Gunnar Sunderland, wasn't popular. I'm sure it wasn't. Harry Kewell, when he went to Galatasaray. Yes, I had to Google how to spell that. That's a great shout.
Jack Colback, didn't he go from Newcastle to Sunderland to Newcastle, whichever way?
Sunderland to Newcastle, I think.
Yeah. Another one.
Mountain Googling my question. Bryce says he was still a player for them, Paul. And this is where Paul comes back and says, he said the question was played for. And yeah, I have to give him it. He is technically right, Bry. Hummels did transfers between Dortmund and Bayern about 8 times. How many on a free, Lee? Anyway, so we are back now to the end of that. So, lads, do we have an order for our shouts here?
Yeah, I think it goes Lewandowski top, Michael Owen second, Jim's third, and Sol Campbell bottom.
Are we all agreed? And there's no offence intended here, Jord. Michael Owen's 4th for me.
Yeah.
In terms of the list,
Yeah.
It's not that he's not a traitor. It's that it was indirect and there's a few other reasons.
Yeah.
I would then say Ashley Cole is 3rd, if we're all in agreement.
Yeah.
How do we feel about that?
I would.
Paul, you all right with that?
Yeah, I'm fine with that.
Because he knows he's going to win.
Lewandowski 2nd and Sol Campbell as the biggest football traitor ever. I think that's about right, to be honest. In the names mentioned,
100% agree.
You could have the same show and bring 4 different players to the table, and it'd still be a reasonable conversation because it's subjective, but I think that will be what the majority of people would go with. I think. Let's just get the last couple of comments before we switch topics. Sit on it, Mountain. Wow. Okay. don't be fighting. I don't want mods and one of my main guys fighting. We don't want this. Batshuayi needs mentioning as he played for all 3 big Turkish sides. Not a bad shout, that Jamie Dumpling. Not a bad shout. It's that sort of knowledge that
Can I
gets
just
you.
give one more? Can I give one more, which is an interesting one? There's a guy called Oscar Ruggieri who came through youth ranks at Boca. He grew up supporting him, played for him, and then joined River Plate, which is like not done. The fans were that
Annoyed.
mad at him.
Yeah.
They burnt his house down while his mum and dad were inside it. They got out, but yeah,
I think he wins it.
I think
he wins
that one. That's not bad. But he didn't play there for long, so he weren't like the main man.
Yeah, but Boca have always sold players to River Plate, Lee. It just happens.
Yeah, but on a free.
Vice versa.
On a free.
Batistuta went the other way.
It don't count. It don't count because they've always done it. Anyway, right. Let's shift tack now. There's been somebody waiting very patiently. And as we got together before the stream, he's the first Rambler to come on stream before we've gone live with the show because they have to sit through us talking rubbish for an hour before they even get to come on. So thank you to our mate backstage who was wearing a cream top and didn't get the memo. Somebody else has commented tonight already. So there has been a costume change. Welcoming in, first time live on Ramble FC, I'm pretty sure. It's Tom. How's it going, Tom?
Evening. All right, thank you. You?
Yes, mate. Yes, representing the Platinum Ramblers tonight.
I am indeed.
And this is where I hand the microphone over to the bald and brilliant one because this is his gig. This is his baby, and he's going to tell us. It's funny though because always in and around Top Spot, the man that asks everyone to send their results to him, and he'll put everything together, and then it just works out that he ends up near top of league, second or first all season. I think.
What did he do last week?
Also, the bloke who put his in the chat first today. We'll remember that as well. Yes, I did.
Don't remember that.
Don't worry, Jim. Don't worry about that. I used AI and it was rubbish, but we'll move on. So,
Tom, sorry, before we do, Tom, can I just ask you, do you have an opinion on the some of the names we mentioned tonight?
Well,
and I know you're a spring chicken as well.
Yeah, I was going to say I only remember one of them being
so did Jord.
Mr. Mountain's favourite. But the only other one that I really remember was Goetze, which also you mentioned, and he then went back to Dortmund after as well, and they didn't want him back. The only other one, United related, that I thought you might have mentioned was Alan Quinn, who then went on to score against Wednesday as well.
Been a few though. There's been
scored for both teams in the derby, didn't he?
Yeah, Del Geary, Lee Bromby,
Owen Morrison.
Other winger.
Leon Clark.
Leon Clark. Yeah, he's another. There's loads in there.
He's the most notorious for me, going back there and pulling the pants down.
Yeah.
That was the year he scored was the year after I was born, so I don't remember anything about that.
I'm showing off, Tom. You were popular a minute ago.
Yeah, Tom. Right. Sorry, Lee. I didn't mean to cut you off there, but I just wanted to get your opinion on that because, it's interesting to get more than just our two penneth.
So last week wasn't great for anybody. We had Paul win with 2 points last week. It was the top man.
Win's a win.
Jim got 1 point. I got 1 point. Jordan got 1 point. And unfortunately, Rodders.
Braver man than me.
Nathan shot a blank, I'm afraid.
He's in the Donut Club. We have got the Donut Club.
Well, we've already got it because Paul's in it and Jim's in it already. Oh. So he's the third member of the Donut Club. It's
exclusive in that club, so
Jim week 4, Paul week 5. I checked back earlier.
Of course you did.
So it weren't very good last week. The leaderboard.
I've never noticed.
Ramblers.
Can I just say, I've never noticed you've got quite the Jimmy Carr laugh, Lee.
Have I?
Yeah.
I don't think that's a compliment.
That's another one for Caravan Dan and Scratch Phil and Mike. Just another one if they want that. Because
I wouldn't mind being a pound behind him. At least it weren't Alan Carr.
Just don't pay your tax, Lee. You're all right.
Yeah, that's true. No, it's not Alan Carr. That's Mark Meldrew. But sorry, Lee. Carry on, mate. I keep interrupting you.
Told you were a traitor.
The leaderboard currently is Ramblers at the top with 27, me second, 26, Jordan flying up with 24, Jim 22, and Paul closing the gap slightly on 18 at the bottom.
Happy with that. Striking distance, like the Blades.
So this week 11. So when you think about it, we're not doing right well with scores. We've done 10 weeks already. So week 11, the first game was chosen by Jim, and it's Rotherham versus Huddersfield. So we'll come to Tom first. Rotherham v Huddersfield, Tom.
What do you want my prediction first, or
talk about it? Give your prediction, whatever you want.
Well, I've gone 1-1 because I know naff all about either team, to be honest.
Thank you, Tom. Tom, you're welcome whenever you want. Do you know what? We had Russ on last week. I don't know if you caught it, but Russ was like, well, if you see So-and-so's away record over the last few games, and he had swatted up big time. And like Lee says, he had got a brilliant score, like when Russ came on. It wasn't last week, it was week before. Nath, like yourself, welcome back anytime. Anytime. Don't know anything about either team.
Well, I know that Rotherham, they haven't had a clean sheet for like 5 games. And I can't see him carrying that. Well, I can see him carrying that on.
It sounds like a bit of research to me. I'm not happy about that.
My cousin's a Rotherham fan.
Oh, okay. Well,
yeah, that's about as much as I know.
What did you go for?
Jim, what you gone for?
I've gone for a Rotherham 0, Huddersfield 1. I think Rotherham are on a bit of a downward trajectory at the moment. I don't think they're a very good team, if I'm honest. I think Nombe potentially lifts them up a little bit, but if he don't turn up, neither do they. They lost to Plymouth, I think, last time out. Huddersfield also on a bit of a poor run of form. Should have beaten Wigan at home the other week. Too good a squad to continue struggling, but do we have to wait for Lee Grant to get kicked out? I'm not sure. So I think Huddersfield might squeak it just by having better players, if I'm honest.
What did you say about Russ not being welcome because he's done his research, and then you've just spouted all that off?
I've got a show, Anna, that I do now with Callum Fowler and Blades Ramble. And
he wrote it down for you and passed it.
Yeah, he must have done. No, to be fair, he does research for Yorkshire's Finest now, which is a massive load off of me. So I just read off some of his notes, and some of it sticks. So there you go. So that's what it is. But yeah, Mondays on the Callum Fowler show and on the Blades Ramble, Jim and Cal football show and Yorkshire's Finest. Thanks. Yeah. Cheers, Lee. Always great for a cheeky plug, Lee.
Mate, the innuendos are flying today. Well, anyway, go on.
Steady
Hang
on,
Paul. What you go for?
Well, it's a derby, isn't it?
It is a derby.
I love a draw in a derby. It served me so well this season.
I'm too young for all this.
I thought I'll stick to my guns. So yeah, no plugs intended. There we go, one each.
Jordan.
Yeah, I've got the same. I've gone one apiece. Both teams are struggling. I've got a Rotherham mate who says Rotherham are absolutely crap, and I was looking at Huddersfield, and they're not exactly in the best of form. So yeah, I've gone one apiece.
And I've gone exactly the same. I looked at the forms home and away, and I can't see anybody winning it by much or losing it by much, so I've gone for a draw. Okay, moving on to the second game, which was Paul's choice. Tom, Newcastle v Chelsea.
I've gone 2-1 Chelsea because all my Premier League knowledge in the last few weeks have all come from Paul and Lou. So I don't follow any Premier League football. I can't watch it. I can't watch it. I just find it so aggravating. So I stay away from it.
But a lovely little plug for top 20 takes there.
There you go.
Thank you. What a top man. With one of the co-hosts, one of the two main hosts right next to me here, Mr. Paul Mountain.
Nice handwork, Jim. Like that.
There you go.
Should be a weather boy.
Look like you're trying to stroke his beard.
At least it's only his beard. Jim, what did you go for? What score did you go for?
Newcastle, Chelsea. I've gone for the same, actually. Exactly the same. Newcastle 1, Chelsea 2 for me. I think Newcastle are tumbling a little bit. Chelsea are just going to have a little bit too much for them, I think.
And Paul?
1-3, Leah. 1-3.
Leah.
Nice one.
Oh, Leah.
I'll be called worse. Jordan?
I've gone different because Newcastle's home form in the Premier League this season is very good, and it's up near the top. So I've gone 1-0 Newcastle.
There you go.
And I've gone 2-1 Chelsea for exactly the same reasons Jimmy said. So I think Newcastle are falling away, and Chelsea seem to be made of better stuff this year. So I fancy him to turn them over.
I just think Newcastle are just so hard to predict.
Yeah.
So I thought I'd put them in there.
Not yours, Paul. Yeah, I think that's a good shout. That because
I think Newcastle
to read
bizarre, aren't they? But they went to Everton and smashed 4, didn't they? The other day. It's like you never know what you're getting.
All right.
Okay, so the third game this week is Orient versus Bradford. So, Tom, what do you fancy on this one? Because obviously you've got loads of knowledge on this one.
Yeah, loads. I've gone for a bit of a strange one. I've gone 3-2 Bradford because I have actually had a look at a few of their last games, and they have been scoring quite a few goals. Both of them. I've got here that Leyton Orient have scored 7 goals in the last 5 games. So you fancy them for a few. And, well, not as impressive, but Bradford have scored 4 in the last 5. But,
So you think they'll get 3?
yeah, why not?
I like it. I like the logic.
You can't just go boring 1-1 or 2-1.
No, I agree with you, mate. I've gone 2-1 Bradford for this one. I think really impressive season for Bradford so far, and I'm hoping they can hold out.
What a huge surprise! Jimmy's back Bradford.
I know.
Well, and I think we'll Lee back Orient maybe, possibly, because he's got ties to Orient as well, like I've got ties to Bradford. Anyway, we'll wait and see.
Ties to the Orient.
Yes.
Didn't know that.
Anyway, Paul, what have you got for me?
You've had a Chinese tonight, haven't you, Paul?
Chinese. I was going to say, is that the name of the takeaway?
I could see Cogs going, what can I say that won't be offensive? What can I say that won't be offensive?
Speed dial.
Yeah. Oh, dearie me. Who's up next, Lee?
It's Paul.
Oh, come on then, Paolo. What we got, pal?
Oh, I've gone for, I think my logic with this, and based on meticulous research and a lot of umming and ahhing, the logic behind this one is it's quite a long way down to Leyton from Bradford. I doubt Bradford are staying overnight, so I think that'll be a factor. And the Orient will kung fu them into a 2-1 win.
You're going to get done by the Orient Express.
I was just going to say that.
That's it. We're done. We're done. We can't top it. Like us off it.
That's it. Just cut us off here, YouTube. That's it. We're done. We're
playing music. Get us off here.
So I've gone, on that note, I've gone 2-1 Bradford.
So you don't think that long journey will cause any issues?
No, I've just gone 2-1 Bradford. I'm not even trying to talk about it. I think they've just talked enough about it with Orient Express. So
yeah, they need a bullet train to get the hills down there, don't they?
I've heard there's been a murder out
there.
Oh wow!
It gets worse. I'm going to move on. I've gone 1-1. Let's move on. So the fourth game is Jordan's game. And it's Wigan v Blackpool. So, Tom, we'll let you take over. Wigan v Blackpool.
I've gone 2-1 Wigan.
Why, Tom?
Because Wigan are rubbish and Blackpool are even more rubbish.
Great logic.
Love
it.
There you go. Nice and simple.
But both rubbish.
Yeah.
Agreed. Right,
yeah.
There we go.
I agree, but I think they're a little bit more equally rubbish. I know Wigan are further up the table than Blackpool, but I've gone for 1-1.
Oh,
yes, I'm trying to copy as many people so I can get a couple of points. So I've gone 1-1-2.
Unbelievable.
1-1-2.
And Jordan?
I've gone 1-0 Wigan. Blackpool are very poor and neither team score many goals. But I just think Wigan have got the edge over them.
Tickle clean sheet there, Jord?
Yeah, just before he signs for us.
Little tickle.
Very nice. And I've gone 2-1 to Wigan because I think they're better than Blackpool, and Blackpool are rubbish.
Yeah, that's
not a tickle. That was more of a.
That's his sister.
It is a tickle.
That's his sister Tess.
No. Oh, that were on. We said that last week.
God, out. That's the David Brent in it. Get out. Everybody else said to it. I will not have a tunnel banded around this office.
So the last one, moving on again, Jim, yes, thank you. Is Tom's, which is Southampton v Coventry. So come on, Tom, you've got to have something on this one.
I've gone 1-1. I've gone 1-1.
Because they're both good.
Well, no, not because they're both good. Because I think Southampton are getting better by the last game. And Coventry, I think, are sort of plateauing out a little bit. So, I know, big call.
Big call.
Yeah. Yeah, they both scored loads of goals, so I'm going for a low-scoring draw.
They both scored loads of goals, so you're going for a low-scoring draw.
Yeah.
Well, I'm going the opposite. I agree with your logic in a lot of ways, what you're saying, Tom, to be fair. I think Coventry being away from home, probably, they're always better at home. Most sides are better at home. Southampton picking up a little bit. Coventry been scoring for fun. I've gone 2-2 for this one because I can't separate them really. I think if Southampton play how they have been playing before the Norwich game, then they should get something out of this. But Coventry aren't indestructible, as we have seen as Sheffield United fans, but still doing what they need to do, pulling the results out of the bag and scoring a lot of goals. So 2-2 for me.
Go on, Paul.
Well, yeah, the Coventry plateau is a bit of a thing for me in this one. And obviously I like to support our pal Matt Letizia in his when he's supporting Southampton.
Take that one, Lou. Clang.
Our friend, Matt Letizia. 2-1 to the Saints. They're going to go marching in, and Coventry will be sent to Coventry with no points.
Jordan?
I think both teams are going to cancel each other out, but they'll both score. I think they're both playing well. Yes, I know you're saying Coventry are starting to dip as, from the excellent form that they were in, scoring loads of goals, not conceding. And Southampton are doing that, like Tom said, apart from last game. So I think it's going to be 1-1.
And I've gone for 2-2. If it had been at Coventry, I'd have gone big on a Coventry win. But I just think they're starting to concede a little away from home. Southampton are starting to score, so I've gone 2-2. So thanks very much for that, Tom. Thanks for your help, and I'll pass you back to Jim so he can read out some of these comments.
I'm not putting these up. It's Man Mountain going rogue.
No,
I
that's
think we
not
need
true.
to form the old fart section, Lee, says Butch Cassidy. These young'uns don't remember out. Can't remember it if we weren't there for it, Bri. Come on.
To be honest,
You definitely were. You
Bri
definitely
can't
were.
remember it either because he thought he played for Man U, Beardsley, and he didn't.
Yeah, correct, Jord. Correct.
Just saying.
Thought we made Lee.
Sit on it, Jord.
Mark Meldrew then coming in with the predictions. He thinks 1-1 Rotherham Huddersfield. This is where he's calling you out, Tom, saying he would have done a better job, I think. Newcastle,
Same as Jordan.
Newcastle 2-1 Chelsea, he says. I don't think anybody's got that. 2-0 Bradford, he thinks, at the Orient. He also says 2-0 Wigan and 2-1 Southampton. Same. I think that's what Paul went for, isn't it? He talks about speed dial being Indian and curry. My delivery driver, Mingling, came from Tesco, says Dave Morwood. Thank you very much. Bry's giving us the yellow card for me and Jord for some of the comments we made. Fair. Jamie Dumpling, that I was giggling at, said, I think Jim's already on a yellow after he said I picked the missus up from school. Look, if you're comfortable with her getting bus, mate, that's up to you. But I'm not ready for that. Can't see the sky Saturday. Panicking too much here. Yeah, absolutely right. Oh, you've already got a yellow Jord. There you go. You're already on a yellow Jord.
Tom, how many jaws have you gone for, mate?
1, 2.
Oh.
2.
Do you think you were playing a bit too safe?
I don't know. I think no. I don't know. Just felt like there's a lot of draw shouts.
Yeah, you've had 2 as well. I've had 3.
I think
Jordan's
I've had 2. Yeah.
Yeah. Jim's had 2.
More draws than Ann Summers.
Lads, I love these shows and they get better every week for me. I really enjoy them. Thank you for coming and being a part of it. And Tom, thank you to you for joining us and representing the Platinum Ramblers, pal.
Thank you.
Hoping your results, your predictions are rubbish, but if they're not, then fair play to you. Yeah, it's the way it goes, mate. It's dog eat dog trade in this predictions league.
Enjoying Stretch Armstrong anyway. If Dumpling, not Donut Club.
Jord, you said that. If he joins us on Saturday and he's had a few, then he might be stretching Motson. Never mind, Stretch Armstrong.
It's all right. I'll not make it after what you're saying about going in box with Rich. So
you listen. You think you know what you're getting yourself in for? I'm not sure you do. Ask Brett. Anyway, right. I'm going to call it there. If anybody fancies sponsoring this show, by the way, it is available for sponsorship. I have got a new sponsorship pack that I've put together, which I can send on to any interested parties. You have now your session. As Lee, I've been working on this. What do you reckon? Your session is finally over. You may get up from the couch and leave. Your payment is a like and a subscribe.
It needs work. It needs work, Jim. It
Seamless,
needs work.
isn't it? Absolutely seamless. Yeah, we're gonna have to.
Sound like Gary Neville doing his adverts.
Drink Huel. It makes me.
When I've had a busy day, when I'm on the go and haven't had time to eat,
I love it. I
love
it all
Huel.
the time. Right. Okay.
It's
We're just going to
55 essential vitamins. Keeps me going when I need it.
For joining us. Up the Ramble.